Welcome to Faith Insight. This week, our guests are representatives of the Archbishop's Appeal Committee. Jenny Lee and Joanne Miller are here to give an update on the restoration of the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception.
The Archbishop's Appeal is, as you know, an appeal that was started by His Grace the Archbishop, Archbishop Gilbert, for raising funds to help restore churches around Trinidad and Tobago. Our first focus is the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception. The Archbishop's Appeal was founded a little more, just about a year ago.
Yes.
And we've done a number of very, very exciting things. And basically, though, we've just gone to the Catholic community.
Yes, more or less we've gone to the Catholic community who have responded tremendously towards the call to support the restoration of the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception, which is our mother church. It's a minor basilica. It is also a national historic monument, declared as such by the National Trust of Trinidad and Tobago. Now, we need a lot of money to be able to even meet the cost of completing the first phase of the project, Jenny.
Yeah.
And we're just about halfway there.
Just about. Thanks to the Catholic community, we're just about halfway there.
But we have another halfway to go.
Yeah.
So we are very excited about how we move forward from here. I mean, we've done a lot so far. But we have the Christ the King weekend coming up on the 20th of November, and we are appealing again to the Catholic community to come forward and give generously so that we can meet that target, $15 million, just to complete the emergency works and the first phase of the project.
I think that Joanne, we should tell them a little bit because originally when we started, it was announced that we need $3.5 million over a 10-year period. Now that was before really any kind of surveys or any reports were completed. And now we have a comprehensive dilapidation survey that shows that the work is going to be done in, 5 phases?
8 phases over 5 years.
That's right, 8 phases over 5 years. And the first phase, the first of those 5 phases, is going to cost somewhere in the area of $15 million. We've done a number of things. Most recently, we've conducted a highly successful auction, which His Grace graciously opened his home. And we had over 90 pieces of art that were auctioned in a silent auction that also went live on the World Wide Web. And that was really, really successful in the sense that we reached a national audience via the social media, and also a national audience where we crossed racial, cultural, religious barriers, reaching the people of Trinidad and Tobago as to the importance of the cause. We are the Mother Church, and as the Church we have to set an example. Set an example, exactly.
Now there is a need, I think, nationally to raise the awareness of the need to restore all our national historic sites. There are many scattered around this country.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was heartbreaking to see the President's house, the roof cave in, what is that, about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even want to think about that happening to our cathedral. And I believe that if emergency work was done before it reached that stage, it never would have happened.
Right.
You know, so we want to arrest the situation at our cathedral before it gets to that stage. And the cathedral is located in downtown Port of Spain.
Yeah.
If those statues, which are now bound up with wire just to keep them from falling onto passers-by, if any of those were to fall or the architraves crumble, I mean, you're talking injury to humans.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very, very busy area.
I think His Grace had the foresight to really see the need for the restoration of our Mother Church and for the glorification and the edification of God, bringing back the Church to its former glory. And what was it Archbishop Harris said? That there is the Trinidad and Tobago that we've lost our respect
for life.
For life. And we've lost our respect for sacred places. And if we were to bring back the respect of sacred places, then it would translate in the respect for life. And we all know where the cathedral is situated. It's situated in downtown Port-au-Spain, in that area that they call the Gaza. If we restored it, and if we brought back the glory of God's church in that downtown Port-au-Spain area, it would do so much for the community, for downtown Port-au-Spain. It would rebuild, revitalize that area.
And it's in keeping with the government's plan to revitalize that area as well.
That's right.
We are taking the initiative. We are doing our part in doing this restoration for the people of Trinidad and Tobago, not just for the Catholic community. It goes beyond the religious lines here. And this is what I found interesting when we were organizing the auction. People really weren't concerned that it was a Catholic cathedral. People just responded because it was a National Historic Site.
That's right. Yeah.
And that is what allowed us to go into the secular world and get such support. It was really a wonderful journey doing that auction.
And our journey has just begun. It's just begun. Of course, the more money that we receive, it's the quicker that we get the job done. 15 million in the first phase, that's going to be a little more than a year to complete. Seems to be a lot of money. But the work that is needed, when we talk about restoring a historical site, it is using the right kinds of materials. It is actually going back to and restoring the work that was there in keeping with the style and the craftsmanship of that period in time.
Yeah.
So it's not the use of Portland cement or any one of the quick
fixes that don't last.
No, no. And this is one of the reasons why it's so costly. And as well, we all know of the problems of flooding in that area. I don't know if you are aware, but the church is actually built on reclaimed land and is very close to the subterranean river that runs down from the Laventille Hills. So that when the tide is high, yes, it gets flooded, and the crypt where our beloved archbishops are buried gets flooded in, like, you know,
a foot of water.
A foot of water. So all of that is going to be taken into consideration and the right kind of mechanisms put into place to ensure that even with the tide rising, that the water will be able to subside or recede, which those mechanisms aren't in place at this point in time. So we're putting those things into place.
And those are the first, that is part of the emergency works that we're talking about.
That's right.
Because you can't move forward in fixing any other aspects of it until you get those things sorted out. Those are a matter of priority. Because what it does is undermine the foundation of the church.
Yes.
Now, this church has been around since 1850.
Wow.
Since 1850.
And it has, you know, one of the amazing things is the blue limestone is actually from the Laventille Hills. The craftsmanship, you know, it was our tradesmen from Laventille who came down and built the church. It is that appeal that back then it was a call to the community to come forward. And it stopped and started and stopped and started, but they eventually got it finished. And same here with the restoration. And we're hoping that the people of this country will step forward and really help us with the restoration of the church, because it is the mother church of the Archdiocese.
But what I think we should mention to the people, though, people would be interested in giving. And in addition to the weekend that's coming up, the Feast of Christ the King weekend that's coming up on the 20th of November, during that weekend, all parishes would be supplied with envelopes and pledge forms for you to be able to give your donations. But in addition to that, you can pledge funds via deeds of covenant.
That's right.
Where you would actually get a tax benefit for making your donations towards the church and towards the restoration. Then we have legacy planning, Jenny.
Yes.
This is something that is really seldom spoken of, but it is such a wonderful way to be remembered. This is your legacy towards the national pride of this country.
Yes.
You know?
And if you need more information about legacy planning, just come into the Chancery, and we'd be, you know, there are people available in the Finance Department who will help you with planning and putting into place to ensure that your wishes are looked after for now and for your future generations.
Mm-hmm. Then, of course, you don't have to write a check every time.
No.
You can go on the website,
yes,
and there's this donate button. You just press, and you're able to give your donation without leaving your home.
That's right.
You know, and you can get donations. You can give donations from any part of the world. If you have family and friends who live abroad who you think would be interested in supporting the cause, mention it to them. Tell them, go to the website.
That's
you
right.
know?
And of course, the website, you will see it coming up on your screen. It's www.rcposappeal.org. And right on there tells you all the various ways. So you could go into any bank, and say that you'd like to make a donation to the Archbishop's Appeal. That facility is open throughout the country, and they'll be able to look after your needs. Maybe we should talk a little bit more about, you know, what we would like to do in the future. We have some ideas about how we're going to move forward. They're very, very, very exciting. For those of you who came out to the auction, you will know the standard of the type of work that we're doing and what we're trying the audience, the national audience and international audiences that we're trying to reach. Just be sure to follow us on our website, and you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well, and we'll be sure to let you know what's coming up. We have some plans in place for maybe Easter. We are planning to continue with the auction maybe over the Christmas holiday season. So yes, we do have some very, very fine artistic works that are still available. You can find them on our website. Please go on. If there's anything that you see that interests you, just send us an email, and we'd be more than happy to respond.
I think they should also look out for, if they're traveling at all between now and Christmas, look out for that collection box, as well as the feature in the in-flight magazine for Caribbean Airlines. It's going to be a wonderful write-up on the restoration of the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception in that in-flight magazine for November and December.
And anyone who's traveling, they can just empty their pockets before they get on the plane in the collection boxes that are going to be established in the departure lounge at the international airport. So there's so many ways. But we have to appeal to you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, to step forward and to help us restore this historic site, which is the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception.
And I think it's just the start of other restorations around the country.
That's right.
Because I think it says a lot about a people based on how they treat their national historic monuments. It's part of our history.
That's right.
It's part of who we are. It's part of the reason we are who we are today. So we want to be able to walk around this country and be proud to say this is a National Historic Site.
Yes.
We love it. It's part of us. This is the role it played in our lives.
Yes.
I mean, the cathedral saw the recent ordination of our second local archbishop. That's historic.
Yep.
The cathedral is still a functioning church. The parish actually still has baptisms, confirmations, first communions, weddings. They minister to the primary schools in the area.
Yes.
They feed the poor. It's part of a social network downtown, which is in such dire need of assistance.
Revitalizing.
You know, so it is really a key part of not only our national heritage, but of our social consciousness, are able to reach communities that need help.
And I think what is important, Joanne, is that we, as the church, we take that lead in setting that example.
We've always
nationally.
done so as a church. We've always done so.
And here we are once more, taking that lead and proving that, yes, we can respect our national historic monuments, whether they be churches or buildings, whatever other buildings that may exist, but they set an example so that other future generations, or maybe even right now, will see the value of actually restoring our historic sites.
Thanks for viewing. God bless.